tax-free is the key word there in number 2. Number 3, owners are not subject to required minimum distributions. If you don't need it, you don't have to take it. And it creates opportunities to pass on tax-free wealth to your beneficiaries. What are the disadvantages to keep in mind? Well, if you convert and then you make a contribution to your Roth IRA, there is no current deduction for depositing additional funds to the Roth IRA. That's a small disadvantage. The big disadvantage is to pay the taxes on the conversion. If you convert an $80,000 IRA, you owe taxes on that $80,000. Like you made $80,000 more in that year. Very painful. You have to come up with the tax, with the funds outside the IRA to pay those taxes. We'll get into some of the details. And another disadvantage that's not on this slide that I'd suggest is liquidity. In a lot of ways, Roth IRAs are more liquid than traditional IRAs. And lots of people think liquidity is a good thing. Not for everybody. Sometimes it's better if you cannot get at the money to fund your IRA in retirement. So some of the factors. Why should you convert today? Well, the current tax rate versus the expected future tax rate. Are tax rates going to be higher when I withdraw it later, or are they going to be lower when I withdraw it later? How are we going to pay taxes on the conversion? Where's that money going to come from? If I convert, where do I get that money to pay my tax bill this year? Number 3, the current account value, hopefully lower than the expected account value in the future. And then the specific goal for the money. Number 4 is the most important thing here. We help people oftentimes segregate their money, whether it's for retirement or a new home or a vacation. Segregate your money. If you have money that is very probable that it'll be passed on to your beneficiaries, it may be advantageous to convert to a Roth. So number 1, what will income tax rates be? Well, I printed out the marginal tax rates going back to 1913. And every CPA I talk to wouldn't bet too much money on what tax rates will be in the future. They've changed 36 times since 1913. The highest marginal tax rate got up to 94%. The lowest tax rate, the lowest high tax rate was 7%. So predicting future tax rates is, as long as Congress is writing tax law, it's pretty unknown. But most people believe tax rates will go up from where they are today based on the current state of the economy and the deficit and all that good stuff. The Economic Growth and Tax Relief Reconciliation Act, written by Bush in 2001, clearly stated in 2011 we had a temporary tax cut through 2010. Obama and Congress have said that they'll keep this in place. So if you're in the current highest tax bracket this year, you're at 35%. Already written into law, your tax rate next year will be 39.6%. That's already carved in stone. That's a decision to pay taxes now or pay taxes later. If you think your tax rate will be higher in the future, there's a benefit to pay those taxes today. Number 2, how would you pay the conversion? How would you pay the taxes upon a conversion? It almost never makes sense to convert an IRA and pay the taxes out of the IRA funds. Every example we look at, we'll look at a few calculations here, but every example we look at, you pay taxes from an external account. We'll call it a separate bank account, not an IRA account, but a separate account. Take this example. If you have $100,000 and you're converting it and you owe $25,000 in taxes, $100,000 and you pay the tax, you're immediately at $75,000 in that IRA. That will likely never catch up to the $100,000. If you have money outside the IRA and you pay the funds from there, that $100,000 in the IRA is likely, it's more attractive to convert. In 2010, you may convert a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA and not pay tax for tax year 2010. Instead, you can spread that income over the following 2 years. So it states here, say if you converted a $100,000 traditional IRA, instead of paying tax on that this year, you could spread that and assume $50,000 added to your 2011 taxes and $50,000 to your 2012 taxes.
When you say the tax rate's going to be higher.
Correct. So you go back and you say, well, how do I decide? You know, this is a moving target. And are you in the highest tax rate? If you're in a 20% tax rate, maybe it won't go up. If you're in a higher tax rate, it's very likely to go up. So we have to weigh all these options. Biting the bullet now and paying taxes, or spreading it out over 2 years.
So if you converted in 2010, to avoid the 39.6, you have to pay in 2011 without half and half.
Correct.
Then you also have to consider, I may be doing that, the state taxes are going to go up probably 2%.
Yes, we've kept the state taxes out of this because of all the variables, but yes, if state taxes go up, that would be another thing.
But you'd have to pay next year everything.
By April 15th of 2011 for conversion to have that 2010 tax rate apply.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Could I make conversions in 2010, 11, and 12?
Yes.
Could I?
Good point and good segue. The elimination of this income limitation of $100,000 has been lifted permanently. I mean, I lose permanently carefully because you never know what Congress is going to do. But you can convert in any year going forward. 2010 is the only year where you can spread that income between 2011 and 2012. If you convert anything in 2011, 12, or beyond, you pay tax in the year in which you convert. It will be very common for people to do partial conversions.
In other words, the conversion has to be made into 10. You cannot be split into 2. You can only deduct it into, right? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, there's no deductions. You can spread it out over.
Yeah, if I take 10,000 now and 10,000 in 11, so I have 2 years. Can I do that?
You can do that, and that first 10,000 you convert in 2010.
And the other 10,000 will be taxed?
Yes, it's all
Oh, I
taxed.
see.
It's just
Okay.
a matter of
Only-
when you pay
only
it.
2010 allows a conversion. That's it, right?
No, you can convert in any year now going forward. In 2010, you can spread that tax liability over 2 years. In every other year, 2011 and beyond, you pay tax in the year in which you convert.
My concern is that I wouldn't have all the money I expect to convert, so that's why I would wait 2010 and 2011.
Exactly, and a lot of people will chop up the conversions over
Right.
time to make that tax hit a little less painful
Can
today.
I do that then?
Yes,
Oh.
yes, you can. What will the account value be? Are you guaranteeing yourself 12% return, 4% return? What do we expect that value to be in the future? Hopefully it's way higher. And we're paying tax on we'd be paying tax on a higher amount. So if we convert and we have great growth, we have a lot of tax-free growth. We'll have a high balance with no taxes due. That would be a reason to convert. When's a good time to convert?